Okay, good morning, everybody. I don't know what time it is for you when you're watching this, but for me it's morning when I'm recording it. And today we're going to talk about a little more with two-step equations, specifically how to deal with two-step equations that have multiple fractions. So let's take a look here. As far as your notes go, this should be considered Lesson 2 continued. Lesson 2 continued. So let's take a look at an example where we have more than one fraction in a two-step equation. So let's start with, let's see, we've got 1/2 plus 2/3 x is equal to 2. Now, in this case, if there was just the 2/3 in front of the x, I'd tell you to multiply everything by the denominator, but we have two different denominators. So if there's multiple fractions, your first step should be to find what's called an LCM, which is a least common multiple. Least common multiple. So what an LCM will do is it will get rid of both of the fractions. So in this case, 2 and 3, we're looking for not a number that goes into them. LCM is often confused for greatest common factor. We're looking for a number that they can both multiply to b. So we're looking for something that 2 can multiply to b. So that'd be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And that 3 can multiply to b. 3 can multiply to b. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So they have a bunch of different things in common. We could use 12, but in general you want to try and use the least one. Now if you could only find 12, then use 12, that's fine. You're just going to have bigger numbers when you start out, but the answer will be the same. So I'm going to use 6. So again, just like before, I'm going to multiply everything in the equation by 6. So if I do 6 times 2, the right hand side of the equal sign becomes 12. If I'm doing 6 times 2/3, I'll do 6 times 2, which is 12, divided by 3, which is 4. So remember, you're multiplying by the numerator, dividing by the denominator. So I did 6 times 2, which is 12. And then I did 12, that answer, divided by 3, which is 4. I'm going to do the same thing for 1/2. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now from here, this equation is way friendlier to solve, whereas the one that we started with would probably look a little intimidating. And all we had to do was find the LCM and multiply everything by that. Now from here, we're just going to solve it like normal. So solve like normal. Now be aware that on today's assignment, you're going to have fractions and decimals for your answers. So don't be afraid if you end up with like -5 divided by 2. That doesn't mean that you did it wrong. There's fractions and decimals as part of the answers from now on. Okay? So from here, if I want to solve for 4x, I'm going to get rid of the addition or subtraction first. So -3 from both sides. That leaves me with 4x on the left-hand side. Drop down the equal sign. And 12 minus 3 is 9. And then from here, I'm going to divide both sides by 4. So that'll leave me with plain old x on the left. 9 divided by 4 is 2 1/4. Or if you're using a calculator, which is also fine, it's 2.25. Kind of, sort of? Alright, let's look at another example here. So let's take a look at one that is kind of the same thing. I'm going to make it just a tiny bit more complicated though. So let's say we have 3/11 is equal to, let's do 9/22 plus 2x. So again, the first step is just like before. The first step is to multiply by or find the least common multiple and then multiply by that. So our least common multiple here, oops, didn't mean to do that. Our least common multiple here, so step 1, find an LCM, is going to be something that both 11 and 22 can multiply to be. So 11 can be 11, 22, 33, 44. 22 can be 22, 44, 66. So I could use 44, but the smallest one is 22. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 22. So when I multiply through, 22 times 2x is going to be 44x. Now I'm going to multiply by the numerator and divide by the denominator. So 22 times 9, I actually don't know off the top of my head, so I'm going to do this super fast. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 2 is 18, so it's 198. But then 198 divided by 22 turns into 9. Okay. 22 times 3 is 66. 66 divided by 11 is 6. Now I'm going to get a decimal for this again, or a fraction. Don't be afraid. So I'm going to get rid of 9 from both sides, because I'm undoing addition or subtraction first. So minus 9 minus 9. So I've got negative 3 is equal to 44x. And then to finish this out, I'm going to divide both sides by the number in front of x. So divide by 44, divide by 44. So I end up with, I don't know what that is as a decimal, so I'm just going to answer as a fraction. Negative 3 over 44 is equal to x. I don't think any of them on the assignment are this nasty, but so the assignment for today on your distance learning day, which is Wednesday the 23rd? Yeah, it's the 23rd of September, is to take notes on this, right? And then at least try. And if you cannot get these done, then you need to come to class tomorrow with questions, and we'll go over them in class. Okay? So, yeah, I hope everybody out there has themselves a good day.